Kasama natin ngayong gabi ang basketball blogger na si Adrian Dy para talakayin ang performance ng Gilas sa FIBA Asia at ang hinaharap ng ating national basketball team. Magandang gabi, Adrian.
Hi again.
Welcome back to The Score. I know the Philippines is mourning right now over that loss. Siyempre, nangyari to, lahat tayo medyo masaklap ang pakiramdam dahil naging kontrobersyal ang naging laro natin kalaban ng China. Some people are saying there was bad officiating. Others were saying na parang sa simula pa lang nasabotage na tayo kasi na-delay yung bus ng Pilipinas, walang tickets for the coaches. Your thoughts on that?
Well, I think sinabi naman ni Coach Tab Baldwin beforehand when they beat Japan na, okay, this is what you should get ready for. You might see some one-sided officiating going the host way kasi Coach Baldwin has coached in other different countries. He's been to these international tournaments. So alam niya na ito talaga yung pwedeng mangyari. At nangyari din naman. But I don't think naman that really affected the preparation of Gilas. I mean, if you're going to be bothered by not being able to shoot up at this level, at this international level, I don't think that you would get that far. And if you look at the game, despite ang daming mga controversial calls, as you said, if they had just shot better, the game would have been much closer and we could have had an upset.
Alam mo, nabilib talaga ako sa effort na pinakita ng mga Gilas players. Tinignan ko yung stat sheet after the game. And can you imagine? The rebounding difference was only 3 rebounds. 46 rebounds para sa China, 43 para sa Pilipinas. And we're talking about a team that had 4 7-footers. So nandun talaga yung effort ng Gilas. And you pointed it out, shooting. Doon tayo nagkulang. Saan pa tayo nagkulang sa gold medal game?
Definitely shooting in the terms of three-point shooting and free throw shooting because they weren't getting the calls na nga, and what little calls they did get, the trips to the line, they were not hitting the free throws very well. So those points would add up eventually in the end. And as for three-point shooting, I mean, you had Castro starting out hot. The Philippines shot well in the first quarter, but towards the end, yung length talaga, yung height, as you mentioned, of the Chinese players started to bother them and they couldn't keep up in the end.
Siguro pansinin natin yung pagkawala ni Blatche nung second and third quarter. Nilabas siya kasi his shots weren't going in and it was a game mostly centered around him. Can you talk about that? What happened with Blatche? Do you think that if we have had other options for the center position, could we have done better in that game?
Well, I think Blatche is probably in the top tier of naturalized players that you're going to get, no? I think the problem lang with him is if you look at the games before in the earlier rounds, there was always just one big guy and certainly not someone na 7 feet tall. But in this game, biglang there were 2 coming at him from different angles. Syempre, that having to adjust to that in the middle of a game is very difficult. So he made up for it naman in the fourth quarter. He was really the guy that the team was looking for in the fourth quarter down the stretch. But again, it wasn't enough because China opened the fourth with like 5 straight points to bring their lead up to 15. So mahirap na yan at that point.
Sinabi nga ni Gretch, Adrian, na the Philippines is mourning right now, pero kailangan talaga nating mag-move on. And what's next for Gilas Pilipinas is another chance to make it to Rio via the qualifiers. And there are 3 slots available. Pero may balita na umiikot na baka hindi daw tayo sumali dito sa qualifiers. Do you think this is going to be the right move for us moving forward?
Well, I think it's also partly a negotiation ploy of the SBP with the PBA because if you look at the statements of the SBP officials, na sinasabi nila na, we have such a hard time putting together the team of the best Pinoy players because of the fact na, there's some of them are injured, some of them are not available. And then when you look at the schedule of the tournament, the qualifying tournament is supposedly set for the first week of July. Pero this past year sa PBA, yung Governor's Cup umabot pa sa July. So may overlap. You won't be able to train ahead of schedule. You might not be able to form a team of the best players. So SBP is saying, so ba't pa tayo sasali if our chances of qualifying are very low? Now, of course, the PBA can still change their mind and say move the third conference forward para may 2 months or 3 months of preparation time. But again, yun nga, negotiation nga siya. So right now, SBP's position is if we're not going to join, bahala na lang. If the PBA wants to make the effort to sort of change their schedule, then we might see a team go play in that qualifying tournament.
Obviously, there's a lot of politics involved. And when we talk about Philippine sports, that's usually the case. But Adrian, rate this team right now, because people have been saying this is a special team. MVP said this is a special team, different from the past teams. Do you see this team going down the road until 2019 for the FIBA World Cup? And what else do we need to be more competitive?
Well, your first question, is this the same team you'll see in 2019? Probably not, because of the old players like Asi Taulava and Dondon Hontiveros. By the time 2019 rolls around, I don't think those will be playing by then. But the core is there. You know, Calvin Abueva, Terence Romeo, Jason Castro probably will be the veteran by then. Sila pa rin nandun, and you know, this is a team that people said at the start, you know, baka mahina, the top players are not there, but they certainly changed everyone's minds. They were able to get the silver medal. So in that case, if you're going to grade them, you have to give them high marks for really overachieving.
Well, I'm very excited to see kung sino ang idadagdag in the future editions of Gilas Pilipinas. Adrian, thank you so much once again for coming back here to The Score. I'm sure we'll talk again about Gilas in the future.
We will.